got the 6-time All NBA selection, 9 most points all time. 75th anniversary team member Carmelo Anthony just called for retirement. I want to ask, like, how do y'all feel about him as a player? Do you feel like he should have been retired, or was this like, okay, did he leave his mark in the NBA?
You go, James.
He definitely left his mark in the NBA. He's been a popular player for well over a decade, and I think I would consider him future Hall of Famer, but I could be. I think he probably is a future Hall of Famer.
First ballot. Yeah.
He left his mark, and I think he's definitely going to be missed. And I definitely wish him the best of luck in retirement. And I'm excited to see what the next step will be and what he's going to get into next.
Right.
Yeah. Nah, for sure, man. Y'all asked the wrong person this question because Melo is probably like my second favorite best player ever, behind T-Mac. But for sure, man, I think he definitely left an imprint on, as far as the NBA and just, I would say he's definitely a top 5. If we talking just scoring the ball at his prime, his peak, top 5 all time in my opinion. He could give it to you anyway. He could hit the 3. He could drive in and dunk on you. He could put you in the post, which a lot of guys in his era didn't have a post game like that. Like Melo put you in the spin cycle, turn around and shoot over you to fade away. Like he could do it however you really wanted it in his prime. He could give it to you. So I think he'll definitely be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Was he just 75? Is he one of the 75 best? Yeah. So yeah, man, he definitely left his imprint on the league, man. He forever be remembered, man, for sure.
Yeah, man, his shot was so effective. Like, couldn't nobody copy his shot, and it's like it's the same shot. He never switched. Like it's that, and it works.
Yep.
It always worked most of his career. Now I was gonna ask y'all, okay, let's say the Nuggets take it, right? They beat the Heat, they win the championship. Do y'all feel like Carmelo, since he's retired this year, does he deserve a ring too, or is he any type of like acknowledgement from him?
It would be
I
great
would say
to get an honorary ring.
I would say hell no. I don't think he liked Denver like that. I think if anything, it would be New York if they were to go and win one. Like, I don't know if you caught it. Like he was at some of the New York playoff games this season or whatever, before they got put out. So I think him and Denver, I don't think they have a really good relationship. Not to say that it's bad, but I don't think that. I don't think Denver's like, hey Melo, you want one of these rings, bro? Like, I don't think so.
Would he be excited to see the Nuggets win their first championship?
Sure.
I mean, I would think so because he did give his all to that team, at the early of his career. I don't think it would be hate or anything spiteful. I think he would be, excited.
Well, a lot of times, team success that brings more awareness to past players, and
I believe so. Like, for instance, the Bulls. Let's say the Bulls are playing, they'll probably mention something with Jordan, even though they do that every day. But still, like something with Jordan, honoring him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, the next one we got up is Kyrie. He said he was ready to come to the Lakers. And Trae Young, they saying that he might, he was thinking about that too. Out of them two, who do y'all feel would be a better fit for the Lakers next season?
Between which teams are they coming from?
Well, Trae Young coming from the Hawks, and Kyrie he'll be coming from the Mavericks.
Is there any advantage coming from going from the Western Conference, traveling but like into the Western Conference, as opposed to maybe going from the Eastern Conference into the Western Conference?
Oh,
Because I guess coming from the Mavericks, he'd have familiarity with the West Conference players, so that could be an advantage.
Oh, and like Kyrie.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think Kyrie, he didn't play. He only played over a half a year, so
Okay.
I don't know how they. I think if anything, it'll be more. Historically, the East has been the weaker conference. Well, at least in maybe the last 20 years, they've been the weaker conference.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it would benefit him more to go back to the East. Where he was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, for me, it would be, I would like to see them at least play one more year, just that, just to kind of see if it'll work. But I guess we kind of notice if we go back to Kyrie's history when he played with, Kevin Durant, that didn't work out. He playing with Luka. That I don't know. That's kind of like the backlash for me. Like I don't know. Like is he worth it? You know what I mean? Because he moves around a lot. He's kind of that he has that selfish mindset still as a player. Um, so I would have to go with Trae Young just because it's based on the fact that he's younger, talented. He can he could shoot beyond the arc. He a team player, good passer. So
Yeah.
I definitely say Trae Young though. If he was pursuing them.
Right.
Do y'all feel like he would get a max deal though for that trade?
If you're going by the numbers, then you have to pay him max money. Because he puts up numbers every year. And back to the original question, if we're saying who would you take, Trae or Kyrie, I would definitely take Kyrie just off of, and I know he would be more problematic, just him being who he is.
Right.
But I think that he's a better fit for LeBron. They know each other. They've won a championship together. I think if anybody can deal with Kyrie and get the most out of Kyrie in the team setting, I think it would be LeBron.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
yeah.
And I believe he was saying like, if he ever got the chance to play with him again, like he definitely wanna like because I know when they played the Cavaliers, LeBron really carried them. It have been moments where Kyrie was supposed to come and play and he couldn't really deliver like that. So I feel like he wants like a redo at the same time.
Yeah. Hey man, but he won LeBron that last championship that championship with
Yeah.
Cat. He won that for them.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Uh,
What do you think, James? You feel like Kyrie?
Yeah, I agree. So, and that was the bubble championship, right? From 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I guess.
which one?
The one with LeBron, or was that a different?
Kyrie wasn't on that team, but yeah, he did win the bubble championship. Kyrie, This was 2016 when they won.
Yeah. Cavalier.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. It would be a good reunion for the two of them then, for Kyrie and LeBron to get back.
Yeah.
Right. I definitely I would like I said, at least 1 year we could see if they'll work out and if that can work, but it's all up to Kyrie and if he can deliver, and maneuver. Because you got the Lakers, they got a full set. Now they could get rid of like what's his name? Russell. He wasn't effective at all scoring.
Yeah, you can let him go.
And they thought he was gonna benefit, but I guess playoff time, he was doing good until playoff time came, and it's like giving you 3-6 points, like that's not gonna work.
This what I see with D'Angelo, and which is a problem. If you're trying to win a championship and you're going deep in the playoffs like the Lakers did, it came to a point where against the Nuggets, which is probably looking at it right now, they're the best offensive team for sure in the league.
Yeah.
As far as efficiency, you can't play him because he can't guard.
Right.
So if you're gonna have a starting point guard who you relying on to come in and give you, okay, we know he's not a defensive stopper, but he can give you a dub of 20 a game. He can give
Yeah.
you 20 a game, but if he can't be adequate enough to not let a guy score on you damn near every time,
Right.
you can't play him. So I think that's the problem that came with having D'Angelo in there, which was why they would play who they would put in the what's the number 4? What's his name? Lonnie Walker.
Yeah.
He started getting more playing time in that Nuggets series, but yeah, you
And he's
can't play him, bro. If he can't guard enough to get you a couple of stops. I mean, okay, we're not expecting you to be a lockdown, but be like I say, be adequate enough to hold your own and not let the dude score on you 5 out of 7 times. You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like,
And I feel like a lot of these players, what they don't realize is like once you have an offensive game during the game, you have to switch over because if not, you're not effective at all in the game. And I think that's what D'Angelo couldn't really get because like okay, it's gonna be games where you can't hit them. They're just not
yeah,
hitting, but you can still win the game. You can still be effective in the game. Like I mean, and this is my opinion. For example, let's say Russell Westbrook, right? He cannot be hot. He could be missing. Bricking. They call him Westbrook, but if he needs, he'll play defense. Like you know what I'm saying? Like find a way to be effective. He'll give you rebounds, offensive rebounds, something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's just you got to be some type of effective in a way.
yeah.
Definitely.
I have a question for y'all because I was reading
Yeah.
an article on NBA.com and it was talking about how there's a pretty large collection of undrafted players who are playing. So like Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, and Max Strus.
Right.
Do y'all feel like there's more pressure on the undrafted players to perform in the finals, or
G, I'll let you go.
No pressure because they don't have any. They didn't have any. And they didn't have high expectations coming into the league. So you can, as you're not even. I know how I would look at it is like, man, we ain't even really supposed to be here. We don't even really supposed to be here. So if I'm going out there knowing that I'm undrafted or I was a late second round pick, man, I'm out there playing free, man, and
Right.
I'm giving it my all. I ain't worried about no pressure. That don't apply to me because, like I said, I'm not even supposed to really be here. I was undrafted, and
Right.
now I'm playing in. I'm the last. So I'm a part of the last 2 teams playing. Like, it's got to be like it's got to be crazy to them, I would assume. But I think just the going off of what we all know from the Heat culture, Spo and Pat Riley, they'll make sure those guys are ready. I don't, like I say, if you beat the Heat, it's not going to be because they just wet the bed. It's not going to be because they didn't give enough effort. You just beat them.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be playing free out there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what G said. Like I said, it's no pressure. And when it's no pressure, you can basically play how you want to play your game, basically.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Versus somebody trading to the Lakers and, that's one of the teams where they have all those superstars. You gotta, like, okay,
Right.
are you gonna be the next? So that's kind of how they're looking at it. But it's like, no pressure, undrafted, play your game, play your game
Yep.
and try to be effective and stay out the way.
Right. Quick thing too, before we get off of that. That was a great question too, by the way, James.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I want to say Jimmy was a second round pick when he came out.
Yeah.
Could it have? I want to say second round pick. I know I was watching. I was a big Bulls fan because D Rose is my guy back then.
Yeah.
I can remember his whole career. He was on the bench, getting a few minutes. I remember D Rose got hurt. Then he started that year that D Rose, one of those years that D Rose was hurt. And that's kind of when he started to become a 20-point per game scorer and all of this. So I think when everybody looks at Jimmy and say, man, this dude he takes it up like a couple of notches in the playoffs. I think it goes back to what we just said. He ain't have no expectations of being this great player. Right. It's all him doing the work and, right. Okay, now I'm going to show and prove to y'all I'm like that. What you call himself, Hemi Buckets. Like I just read somewhere that he getting that trademark, Hemi Buckets. So, yeah, I think with him, I think he's able to perform like that is because also he know, in my mind, this is just what I think. Hey, I ain't really supposed to be here, so I'm here, man. I'm about to ball out. I don't care about none of this with all the pressure stuff. Leave that to the number 2 and 3 and 1 picks in the draft. Like, yeah, I'm gonna just go out here and ball and bust y'all and let y'all know that I should have been a high draft pick.
Right.
Yeah.
Looks like we're under 2 minutes at the moment.
Yeah. I guess we can get into our last little topic right quick. Brittany Griner, she was back after her first game from her jail release out the country. She dropped 27 points and 10 rebounds since 2021. Just looking at her storyline right quick, how do y'all feel? Do y'all feel like she deserved to be in jail for that sentence, for that incident?
I wouldn't say jail. I mean, I wouldn't say that she deserved to just serve time like that. But like I said, I think that it was a mistake on her behalf to have that on her. So we can't dictate what their laws are over there in Russia. Whether if they was using her as a pawn, a political pawn, or whatever, we can't say we can't dictate their laws. But no, I don't think she deserved 9 years for. That's definitely that's overkill on sentencing somebody for something like that. But happy to see her home though and back doing what she loved for sure.
I agree. Welcome back, and 27 points after 2 years away from the game. That's impressive too.
Yeah, I guess she was trying to basically say like, it's not over. Like she's still that person that can drop it on y'all.
No doubt.
But man, thanks G for coming being a part of the show, man. It's always an honor, man. Everybody that's tuning in, make sure we will keep y'all updated on the playoffs with the Nuggets and the Heat. I'm Jamiron.
James.
And this is J&J Sports. And we're gonna see y'all later.
Yes, sir.